Alright, so this YouTube channel is going to be following me along my journey as I get into racetrack promotion. It's always been a bucket list item for me, so I've got a lot to learn. I've promoted a couple of racing series before, created a couple classes of race cars where we've gone to different tracks and stuff, but it'll be the first time I've actually taken on a facility and everything that's going to go along with it. So that's what this channel is going to be. I'm going to try to keep this updated regularly. So, throughout the season. I mean, we're in the off season right now. It's January. So basically, we're putting together, trying to get started. Now, this track that I'm taking over is currently a speedway bike quad facility. It's a 10th mile clay oval. They raced karts on it years ago. It's around 1995, I think, was the last time they raced karts on it. So you're talking like 26 years ago or so. So, it's and it was a premier facility back in the day. It was an asphalt road course at one time. Then they put in a dirt oval. We're racing on the dirt oval, so that's what we're gonna do. Basically, what I'm looking at here is I don't have a lot of money. I have two businesses. Neither one of them do much work in the wintertime. So, I can't really be taking money out of my own pocket to do this. So we're basically, this is going to be sponsors. We're looking for track sponsors. We got to put in, basically the biggest thing we need is a transponder system. These karts are just too hard to score, and we're expecting we're going to have good fields of karts. Now, hand scoring, any of you that have been around racing for a long time have seen how it's done. Basically, you've got three people that sit in a tower to watch the races, and they write down the numbers of the cars as they cross the line. You got a cart, you got a 4-inch number on it, and we've got 4-foot-high walls. So if the cart's up near the wall, if they're better than halfway up the track on the straightaway, you can't even see the number on the cart. You can't see exactly where they are, so it's asking for problems. So basically, the transponder system we're looking at is about $3,400, and then we're gonna have to, we're gonna have some tax and shipping, and then we got to pick up the units themselves that go on the carts. We got a couple different options. One's a $1 like sticker, and then another one's more of an RFID tag, a little more permanent, a little more waterproof. That's a $6 tag. We've got to pick up enough so that if somebody shows up to the track, they can buy one from us. So we're looking $4,000 or a little bit better just to do that. Part of basically how we're doing that is with billboard sales. We've found places to get the billboards. We're actually going to go with banners because one of the parts of the facility that we're using, the part of the project here, is they're still racing the speedway bikes on there. They're running a different night than us. They're running on off weeks. But basically, we've got to convert this facility from a bike and quad facility to a kart facility between races, including, and that's a lot of that's our banners and stuff like that. Our sponsors are buying into the kart program, so we have to be able to take down these billboards to be able to put them up and take them down quickly, so we can show up, a day or two before our race, put up all the billboards and all the the signage and all that, run our races, and then either after the races that night or the following day before the next race, we've got to be able to go in there and quickly take them down, so that the speedway program can put their own stuff up, which that kind of brings its own unique challenge. It's really easy just to put up a permanent wooden structure that'll hold all of our banners, put them up, be done with them. But instead, we've got to do like temporary, probably PVC frames. Like I said, they're banners, they're vinyl banners that we're using just for ease of storage. They're light, they can be rolled up and put away. So that's what we've got to do there. But basically, that's where we're at now. How I got into this whole thing was, I wanted to promote a racetrack. Ultimately stock cars would be cool, but that's a lot more overhead. So it's not going to be real feasible for me to do. And sorry, there's somebody walking outside my window. But we're basically finding a facility at first. My wife does not want me promoting a weekly facility. I have a 1-year-old, 14 months old now. That time's time I can't get back. And ultimately, if I'm promoting a weekly facility, then you're talking a minimum 2-3 nights a week at the track. The track's about 45 minutes from my house. So that just adds on work all day and then leave as soon as I get home from work, go drive 45 minutes to the track, work for a few hours, get home after dark. Doing that 2, 3, 4, 5 nights a week, depending on what's needed to be done. It's not real conducive to a good home life. Still enjoy my wife. I enjoy spending time with her. And my daughter, of course. I don't want to miss her growing up. So basically, our track we chose to run, we're running about once a month. And we're going to go with like more of a big events type format. Every week we want to, every race we want to do something that's big, something that's showcased. So that's what we're going to do. So finding a facility was the hard part. Because most of the kart tracks around here, people don't want to go, if they're operating weekly, they don't want to cut back to a part-time schedule. If they're not operating weekly, well, then we got another issue because it's going to cost a lot more money to get it going. If something's been sitting a while, there's a track I looked at about 4 or 5 years ago that had been sitting for, at the time, probably 13, 14. I think we're at 19 years now, so probably been sitting for 15 or 16 years. They had come in, they sold all the clay off the track, all the poles were gone, the walls were gone. Basically, you've got a field. An overgrown field that has some banking carved into it, so like you kind of see where the track was, but it would have been starting from scratch. I wasn't totally turned off by it, but it was also landlocked. The property owner, there's I believe it's a truck repair facility, parts facility that's between the track and the road. They don't want people driving through there. And the only right of way back to there is between their buildings, and they were absolutely against that. So they weren't willing to rent me the track to even begin the process of attempting to build a new track. So that was off the table. Well, then back in around September, I think it was Labor Day weekend, I decided to take in some speedway bike or quad. They were running quads that night out this track about 45 minutes from my house, and I saw it. It was a very cool track. It was very, very, very similar layout to the track that I currently race karts at. So I saw there was potential there and contacted the track owner, see if it was something that was going to be doable, if he was interested in putting karts on it, if he was interested in leasing it to me or whatever, renting it to me, nightly rent. I wasn't sure. I had no idea what I was getting into. I just said, hey, just sent him a message. Friends of him on Facebook. Sent a message, just said, hey, curious if it would be possible to rent this. And he's, yeah, absolutely. So we ironed out a deal. We're looking at, like, he ran through the whole process and the stuff you don't think about. Everybody knows insurance. You got to have insurance. He told me how the insurance works because he also owns the other kart track, which also runs speedway bikes, coincidentally. And he set me up with the insurance company they use for the kart program over there, and it was pretty reasonably priced. The numbers that they threw out didn't scare me, and but other little stuff like expenses. We have a generator. If I fire the generator up, I got to pay a $125 a night generator rental fee, which means worked into the rent. But it's still one of those, like, why is the rent what the rent is? Porta potties. That's one thing. You're talking $300 a month for porta potties out there. It's something you don't think about. Obviously there's diesel for the generator, concession stands. I had a couple different options. He could charge me a little more rent, and I could run the concessions, take the concessions, or a little less rent, and then let the track owner actually run the concession stands and take that for himself. All these are factors I had to get weighed into. Another thing was the surface. The other track is one of the common complaints is the surface. Speedway bikes like a lot different. So they like a lot sandier, a lot looser surface than what say karts do. Karts look like clay. They want bite. They don't want loose. They don't want slippery. They want something that's going to get some bite and it's going to be racy and going to widen right out. So that was a concern before I went into this. Is it going to be something I can work with and put on good racing that car racers are actually going to like they're actually going to show up to it, or is the surface going to be a deterrent? And I can't just go in there and say, okay, I'm putting clay down, because they still run the bikes and he owns the track. So but talking with him, I said they actually have some issues with the surface being too much clay, which is great for us. Ain't great for them, but I like it. So, yeah. So I'm gonna use this channel. I'm gonna document. I mean, we've got sponsor searches coming up. We got getting carts built, getting dealing with rules packages, dealing with just the different aspects of it, stuff that I'm not even gonna realize. Like I'm gonna be getting into this and there's going to be stuff that's going to pop up, and I'm going to try to record as much of it as I can. I mean, from now up until race season, and then even during the races, we'll try to, do some race night, race night broadcasts as far as like what I've got going on throughout the night. There's a lot more that goes into it than meets the eye. I was fortunate enough to be a race director for one night down at the other track, the last race of the year. I didn't race. I just ran the show. And it was an eye opener. It's stuff that I knew there was a lot that goes into it. I mean, I've been around the sport my whole life. I'm 34 years old, almost 35. And I knew that there's a lot that goes into a night of racing, with just so much stuff that pops up over the course of a night that you don't even think about. But I'm looking forward to using this channel to do that and try to promote. I know this is one thing I've always looked for on YouTube is when I was getting into this, like, is there any race promoters that have a channel to talk about, the trials and tribulations of race promotion and, racetrack promotion? And don't really know. I wasn't able to find any, so maybe I'll be that guy. This isn't something I'm looking to monetize. I know I'm not going to have thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers and millions of views, but if I can make anybody's life easier, if this is something you're looking at doing the same thing, hopefully my trials and tribulations can help you avoid making some of the mistakes that I know inevitably I'm going to make. But it'd be, as far as like anything I can do that's going to help somebody down the road. Ultimately, we're all in this together. We need to keep this sport of racing alive. So that's what we're trying to do here. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to like, subscribe, that way you get all the updated videos and all of that. And hopefully we'll see you on the next video. But thanks, and we'll see you next time.